All right. So again, welcome. Be aware that we are recording this session. I'm assuming that Reverend Patricia is recording since she's the one who has the reins this morning. Thank you. We post our service on social media. We actually posted on our YouTube channel. There you go. And we put our link to our YouTube channel on our website, as well as Facebook. And we also use Instagram, and we use Meetup to connect with people and to sign up for classes. So check us out on Meetup as well. And thank you so much to those of you who are our YouTube audience. Thank you for using our YouTube channel, for subscribing and watching our Sunday services on YouTube. And thank you for your donations. Your donations really help us maintain this media to be able to pay for our YouTube channel and all the different subscriptions that we have in order to be able to come to you on this media through Zoom and on YouTube. So thank you so much for your donations. And speaking of donations, just be aware that we now have two ways to donate on our website. We have Square as well as PayPal. And if you need help with setting those things up and using those, just let me know. I'd be happy to do a confidential Zoom with you and set that up. So thank you so much. And now, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our practitioner of the day, Reverend Debbie Putnam. Thank you.
Good morning, Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living. And before I do an invocation, let's just unmute and greet each other. Say nice things, wave, say namaste, whatever it is. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Blessings.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
Virtual hugs.
Good morning.
Okay.
Virtual hug.
Exactly. Thank you, Linda. So now as we mute ourselves again. Oh, wait a second. Will everyone mute themselves? There is one power, one presence, and one goodness, one infinite life that is all that is. It is the infinite power, presence, and goodness of being. It is this very moment unfolding as a blossom, as beauty, as grace. And I am one with this power, and so is each and every person here. Each and every person who is a part of this service in any way, in every way. That there is this pure unfolding of grace through Reverend David's talk, through Heather Clark's singing, through the board of directors, through each and every person who supports the outreach committee, all of it, that we are part of the infinite gift of grace. We are one with the infinite intelligence of being. That intelligence shines forth today and speaks to our open hearts as each of us hears and knows exactly what is ours to receive, as we take those ideas forth and become them this week. And so it is. And now for our readings. Somewhere along the line, we are going to have to find a faith greater than all our doubts and fears and uncertainties. Somewhere along the line, we must find the love greater than all animosity, the peace beyond our confusion. This is the pathway that we are all secretly seeking, whether we know it or not. We are being guided by a loving intelligence, which evermore seeks to bring us comfort and goodwill, happiness and success, health and abundance. Ernest Holmes. And now to introduce our musician, Heather Clark. Heather is a longtime friend of Sacramento CSL. She first developed her love of music as a child, singing in the youth choir of her father's church. And she's been singing ever since. And we're so glad she has. Heather is a classically trained musician that's been touching the hearts of audiences and congregations throughout Northern California for over 20 years. She has a reputation for effortlessly navigating different musical genres and conveying spiritual depth from unexpected places. And I'd like to also take a moment to introduce Reverend David Clark. And then Heather will sing for us, followed by David's wonderful presentation. Reverend David Clark is a minister of religious science who is also an experienced inspirational speaker, a musician, a blogger, an avid runner, and has traveled the world working in the software industry. The philosophies of religious science and science of mind have helped David achieve many goals in his life and do things he never believed he could do. As a speaker, David skillfully dismantles complex spiritual concepts to reveal our eternal connection to God and to each other through his authenticity, his compassion, and his sense of humor. Welcome, Heather, and welcome, David.
You can spend your whole life building something from nothing. One storm can come and blow it all away. Build it anyway. You can chase a dream that seems so out of reach, and you know it may not ever come your way. Dream it anyway. God is great, but sometimes life ain't good. And when I pray, it doesn't always come out like I think it should. But I do it anyway. Yeah, I do it anyway. This world's gone crazy, and it's hard to believe that tomorrow will be better than today. Believe it anyway. You can love someone with all your heart, all the right reasons, and in a moment they can turn away. Love them anyway. God is great, but sometimes life ain't good. And when I pray, it doesn't always turn out like I think it should. But I do it anyway. Yeah, I do it anyway. You can pour your soul out singing a song you believe in, that tomorrow they'll forget you ever sang. Sing it anyway. Yeah, sing it anyway. Yeah, I'll sing and I'll dream
Oh, I got to hit my unmute button. Darn Zoom. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's my great pleasure to be with you today on this absolutely stunning early fall morning. Thank you for being here. And thank you to the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living for inviting me to be here. And this is my home away from home. And it's where it all began for me. And I absolutely hold the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living in my heart at all times, and along with your congregation and your wonderful staff. So, what are we talking about today? We're talking about being uncomfortable. Let's get uncomfortable. That sounds like fun. And I'm a creature of comfort. I love to be comfortable. Comfy chair. I'm sitting in a comfy chair right now. I got my comfy clothes on, and I really like comfort. I'm a Taurus. We tend to enjoy comfort quite a bit. So believe me when I tell you, I like to be comfortable. And comfort, I think everybody likes to be comfortable, right? It represents peace, safety, stillness, all good things. And that's why many people aim for that as a life's goal. What do you want from life? Well, I want to live a comfortable life. I think we can all say that that's on our list. We want to be comfortable, but there's something else that emerges from comfort, and that's fear. Fear of the end of comfort, fear of disturbance and disruption, fear of pain and disappointment. As long as we're comfortable, we don't have to worry about those other things, disturbances and disruptions, right? The combination of comfort and fear form a powerful epoxy that holds us in place. It keeps us in one place for our protection, right? We don't want to go through all of these bad things in life. But the problem with comfort, one thing is it's not very interesting. Okay, for evidence, when you go to a party and you meet say you meet somebody new and you're hitting it off, you're talking, and what kinds of things do you talk about? Do you talk about tales of comfort and stillness? Or you can tell them about that one great day when nothing happened. No, you're probably not going to do that. You're probably going to talk about who you are and how you came to be. You're going to talk about your stories of triumph. You're going to talk about your funny failures, your dreams, your goals. And why do we talk about these things? Because that's what makes life interesting. Those are the times when we grew. The times when we were extremely uncomfortable were times when we experienced our greatest growth. So the comfort zone is a great place to visit, but you don't want to live there. And it can be kind of intoxicating because you don't really know when you're in your comfort zone. Sometimes, I know I'm in my comfort zone, I'm in my comfort chair, I'm watching TV, something like that. But comfort is an interesting thing because comfort isn't always comfortable. It ranges from creature comforts like where you're sitting and things like that, and having cushions and stuff like that. But it also speaks to states of mind, comfortable states of mind that we find ourselves languishing in. So how can you tell when you're actually in your comfort zone? Well, there's a few things that are indicators. The next time you say, here's one of them. The next time you say, I can't do that because I'm, examine the next words that come out of your mouth. This is for anything. Now, you got to ask yourself, is it valid? Now, if I say, I can't flap my arms and fly because I'm not a bird, that's completely valid. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a truthful statement. Here's another one. I can't listen to rock music because I'm Black. Black people don't do that. Well, that might not be true. We have cultural comfort zones as well. In with all this, in with the mix, in with our personal comfort zones, we've got cultural comfort zones that tell you what you can do and what you can't do. You can't be into that because you're a woman. Women don't do that. You can't be into that because you're a man. If you're a real man, you wouldn't be doing, into all of whatever it is you're into, because that's for women only. We have a way of culturally putting ourselves into the comfort zones of our culture. So we got to bust out of all these. We got to bust out of these cultural comfort zones and do things that maybe our culture tells us, you don't do that. Open yourself up to it. So what kind of other restrictions are we putting on ourselves because of other people's expectations? That's a question to ask yourself. Here's another way to find out if you're languishing in your comfort zone. When was the last time you were nervous? I mean, just, what's happening? Not nervous, scared, but just nervous with anticipation of what you're about to do. Nerves indicate that you're about to enter into the unknown, and that's okay. Now, when I'm saying comfort zones, I don't mean safety zones, okay? Stay in the safety zone. If it's not safe, don't do it, okay? If you say, I've never felt comfortable about playing in the freeway, I'm gonna go play on the freeway. No, don't do that. Okay, we want reasonable stretches outside of our comfort zone, but always, always, always stay safe. Stay safe. So here's another question to ask yourself. When was the last time you failed? Failure indicates that you attempted to do something differently or better than you've done it before, and things didn't work out. Failure is a part of life, especially when you're starting something new. You got to get comfortable with failure. Recently, I have a tale of failure. I've always loved the drums. Okay, for my entire life, I've been drawn to drums, drumming, and music, and whenever I'm listening to a piece of music, I'm listening to the tempo and the rhythm and the drums. I really like that. But I've never studied drums. I've never sat down and played the drums or had somebody try and teach me the drums. So I got very bold. I stepped outside of my comfort zone, and I went out and I bought a electronic drum set, and I got a little drum book, and I started taking some classes, and I started to learn. And you want to talk about uncomfortable and terrible music I'm putting out as I'm just getting to coordinate my left hand, my right hand, and my feet as well. And it was quite an adventure. And I learned a lot about music. I learned a lot about drums, and I learned a lot about myself. And I just happened to learn that I can't play drums. More accurately, I'll say, rather than say I can't, more accurately, I will say that I am not willing to put in the amount of time that it would take for me to get as good as I want to be on the drums. Is that fair? Yeah, that's fair. You don't have to stick with something that you tried just because you tried. I'm trying it and I'm gonna hold on to it. you can just try something out. If it doesn't work for you, if it doesn't resonate with you, then you can just switch to another thing. So yes, I went and I tried the drums, and I'm enriched from the experience. I wound up selling my drum set and moving on. But sometimes things stick, sometimes they don't. But we need to jump into the game to find out. So, okay, so that's another thing. When was the last time you failed? Another question to ask yourself: is your joy dependent on this one thing? I need to have this one thing in place for me to be happy. And a lot of times this translates into bad habits. And we've all had experience with bad habits. You find this thing that you like, and then of course you're going to do it again. Then you're going to do it again and again and again. And then it turns out to be this habit. I really like apple turnovers. I loved them since I was a kid, and I love them today. And when I eat an apple turnover, I'm happy. But I can't just eat apple turnovers every day. Try as I might, I can't do that every day and still remain healthy. So I've got this thing that I like that makes me feel really comfortable. It's in my comfort zone, but I can't have it all the time. So is that my only source of good, an apple turnover? Is that my only source of joy and happiness? Well, it would be if I remained there. If that's all I ever did was eat my apple turnover, then that would be my only source of happiness. But as we stretch out of our comfort zones, find different parts of ourselves emerge, and we learn things about ourselves. We learn new likes, we learn new joys, we learn new strengths about ourselves when we journey outside of our comfort zones. Another question is, do you regret not doing things you could have done? And then check to see if this wasted time was spent in your comfort zone. It makes perfect sense to be comfortable, and once we find it, to languish there in our comfort zone. But sometimes we can spend too much time there, and we know it. And we think, I really need to get up and, do my laundry. I got other things that I need to do. I've got things that I don't really want to do, but I'm just going to stay here in my comfort zone and just not do them. Eventually, we must emerge from that. Another question is, are you afraid to be different? Different from the crowd? And has this fear led you to avoid change? We're going to talk about this a little bit more, about the difference, about feeling different. Because that creates within us a new situation. When we're different, we have new thoughts, new dreams, new ideas. If we don't keep anything new, we keep going back to the same old comforts. And where's all this inspiration going to come from? You might be inspired to do something, but you're so stuck in your comfort zone that you'll say no. And you won't try that new thing that's out there. And lastly, the last question to ask yourself is, hey, when was the last time you were opposed? When was the last time somebody said no to you? Said, hey, don't do that. As we get older, when I was little, people used to tell me that all the time. Hey, don't do that. Don't do it. I'm being told what to do all the time. But as we get older, we don't respond the same way to no, to opposition. We avoid opposition rather than confront opposition. So we avoid contact rather than engage in important conversations, doing things that we know that we need to do. We avoid that because it's uncomfortable. conflict and opposition. A lot of us hear those words and run the other way. That's me too. I don't like to be opposed. And I don't like to be uncomfortable, having to have an uncomfortable conversation, but these are things that we must do from time to time in our lives. And if we're so worried about being comfortable and staying comfortable, we can miss opportunities to have important conversations. We miss opportunities to dig deeper within ourselves and rise above any opposition. You have that within you. So why break out of your comfort zone? Why tune our brains to see, are we comfortable? Are we not? What are we doing? Why even consider all of these things? The primary reason is no matter who you are or what you've accomplished, there is more of you and there's more to do. I'm going to say that again. And I want you to believe it. There's more to you, and there's more to do. I've got a couple other reasons. But first, a story. Many, many moons ago, before I learned certain truths about myself, before I got confidence in myself, before I found religious science, I had a very low self-esteem. Very low self-esteem. I didn't think that I could do anything. I didn't think that I was worth anything. Some of you know what I'm talking about. And then I found religious science, and I found ways to confront that idea. And the biggest challenger I had to my ideas of nothingness and worthlessness was Heather. She would see me going around the house singing, having a good time. I'm singing to my kids. I'm singing in the shower. I'm singing all over the place. Hey, why don't you sing? She's a singer. Well, why don't you go and sing? It's like, well, I can't do that. I can't get in front of people and expose myself and all of these things. I just can't do that. Okay. I was very comfortable with the desire to sing. I was very comfortable with that longing and that yearning to sing. And I was very comfortable with the thought that I can't do it. So within my comfort zone, there I was in my comfort zone, feeling uncomfortable, feeling less than. And so in order to break out of that, I went and did a singing workshop, and I sang in public for the first time in front of a bunch of strangers and an instructor. And I thought I was going to die. I didn't. It turns out I sang, and then it turns out I liked it. It turns out that I started seeking out opportunities to sing. And then I joined a band in which I sang lead, and I played harmonica, and we sang and did that for years. The David that is the singer, that is the blues band frontman, the confident showman, that David, I didn't know who that was. If that David came up to the worthless David and said, "Hello, I'm the future you. Look at what I'm doing," I would have called the police and had them come arrest this crazy man. That's not me. I'm not capable of doing those things. But it turns out that I am. That is me. And I never would have met that me. I never would have discovered that me in my comfort zone. in my comfort zone, the main word there is no. And I'm good at it. Man, I got that no, I got it locked and loaded. I got it sitting here in my holster and it's ready. When somebody comes up to me and says, hey, do you want to try this? You want to? No. I pull it out real quick. I can't because that's going to make me uncomfortable and I don't want to do it. And you can ask my wife, Heather. I'm very historically very quick with the word no. But it's a funny thing that happens when you step out of your comfort zone. When you step out of your comfort zone and you prove to yourself that something that you didn't think could be done, you can do. That doesn't happen in a vacuum. You know that you're capable of more than you think. You have that knowledge. You've just proven it. You stepped out of your comfort zone and you had a great time. You learned something. You did something. You achieved something. All of these things help to strengthen our change muscle. Did you know you had a change muscle? You do. You got a change muscle right in here, and we have to exercise it. Because no matter how comfortable your comfort zone is, if you think it's keeping you from change, you're wrong. Stillness is a beautiful concept, but as living, breathing beings, we're not built for absolute stillness. We're not built to stay in one place. It's not natural for our minds to sit in one place and never move. We're built to move. We're built to dream. We're built to achieve. Because we are built for all of these things, we're strong. We're capable of change. We're capable of so much more than we think we're capable of right now. So, how do we do it? How do we break out of our comfort zone? Well, we've got some homework. We've got some practical ideas. We've got some spiritual practicality, and then we have some physical practicality that we're going to talk about. First, the spiritual practicality. Okay? Know who God is. Know what God is. First and foremost. And God is, I'll just define God in a nutshell, if I may. God is the all-knowing, all-powerful, all-loving creator of all things. I think across the pantheon of religions, the very least we can say about God is this: all-knowing, all-powerful, all-loving creator of all things. Okay? That is God. That is the God that created everything. That is the God that created you. That is the God from which only perfect things emerge. And that's how we know that you are whole, perfect, and complete, because you've come from God. That's how I know I'm whole, perfect, and complete. I know I am because I know you are. That's how the whole thing works. So the first thing we need to do is put on our foundation of everything, and we're building our lives on this. At the foundation of everything is God. A God that only says yes. And right above on that foundation, we have ourselves. Know who you are. Know who God is. Know who you are. And you are a blessed creation of God, made of God, surrounded by God, enriched by God. And as such, you have access to all of the qualities of God. They all reside in you. You are powerful beyond measure because it's our birthright. And we come from that which is all power. So knowing all of these things, and then looking at your life and being afraid to talk to another person, being afraid to observe someone else's point of view, being afraid to try out that new hobby. There's nothing to be afraid of. Our foundation is strong, rock solid, infinite. It can't be moved. That is the ground we're standing on. That is the platform from which we make all of our attempts. That we go out and we try new things. And we have fun and we fail and we succeed and we grow. We don't go out there and fail and succeed and do all of these things and shrink and get smaller and get weaker. No, we get bigger and stronger and more confident. And the world around sees us getting out of our comfort zone, doing things, and we're inspiring other people. And the energy spreads from us into the world. All because we dare to journey out and stick one toe outside of our comfort zone. So do that regularly. So those are our spiritual practicalities. Now we've got some material practicalities to discuss, some very basic ways that you yourself today can go out and step out of your comfort zone. We have 7 things that you can do. Okay, and this is your homework. Pick out 1 or 2 or several of these things and try them. Try it knowing that you are supported by God. You have nothing to fear. Okay? All right, so number 1, do everyday things differently. Okay, every day in your life, you got opportunities to challenge yourself, to change yourself. Turn off your smartphone, turn off the TV. Do something that you wouldn't normally do. And just break up your day a little bit and see what new things, what new thoughts emerge from doing new things. That's one guarantee. You will think differently by doing different things. So number 2, expand your professional skill set. If you're still working, then take a class about your job. If you're not working, then you can still expand your skill set. Pick up a new skill and just try it. There are so many different things you can do, so many different things you can explore. And it doesn't take money to explore them. YouTube is a great resource. Anything you want to learn how to do, you do a search on YouTube and you can learn to do it. You can at least find out more about it. So again, harmless. Expand your skill set. Number 3, try a new diet. And many people try, and when I say diet, I don't mean, you got to take a diet. I just mean change something that you eat. Try a new food. Eliminate a food that you really like, but is not good for you. Just wipe it out. Get uncomfortable and let new thoughts emerge. Number 4, take your workouts to the next level. And when I say workout, that's another one of those dirty words that people might say, workout. I'm not, hey, wait a minute, hang on. Working out is relative, okay? If I'm a runner and I get exhausted by running 3 miles, I'm exhausted from running 3 miles. If I'm someone that's just working out at home for the first time that's having a difficult time making one lap around their living room and they're exhausted after making one lap, you're exhausted after making one lap. Your exhaustion, my exhaustion, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So don't think you got to get out there and just kill yourself. Just push yourself a little bit further than you normally do. You can get quite comfortable with the same workout every day. And even though you're sweating, you're still in your comfort zone because you're not pushing beyond. So take this philosophy into your workouts. Number 5, get creative. Create something. Explore an idea. Write something down. Draw. Do something to create. Take a class on art, on painting. Create, create, create. And number 6, challenge your beliefs. Now, here's a big one, okay? We get in a comfort zone about how we believe. I believe what I believe, and nobody's going to change my mind. You're going to say something different to me. I don't want to hear it. I don't want anything to challenge what I believe. Don't be afraid to challenge what you believe, okay? Your faith isn't strong because it's unchallenged. Your faith is strong because regardless of messages of anything that's coming in, your faith is strong because you still step out onto it. Your faith is strong because you still rely upon it, not because it's untested, not because it's unchallenged. It's strong because you rely on it. Faith is an inside job. So our faith in God, challenge that. You know, I said God is the all-powerful, almighty, all-knowing. Challenge it. Maybe God doesn't know everything. What would God be if God didn't know everything? Ask yourself these questions about God. Question God. Challenge your beliefs. Maybe there's something that you believe that you shouldn't believe. I'm looking at the audience now, and I don't think there's anybody out there that believes in Santa Claus. You used to. And when that belief was challenged, I was pretty upset when my belief in Santa Claus was challenged. But if it wasn't challenged, I wouldn't have grown. I was comfortable believing what I believed. But because I challenged it, I grew. So don't be afraid to challenge what you believe. Number 7, practice honesty. Be honest with yourself as you're asking yourself these questions. Be honest with everyone else in the world. Be honest. Develop an honest communication with yourself so that you know when you're in your comfort zone and when you're being challenged. Be honest with yourself. So that's it. And I want to leave you with the statement that I had earlier in the talk. No matter who you are, no matter what you've accomplished, there's more of you. And there's more to do. Thank you. Let's take that into prayer. And it is here, from that place of solitude, inside, to that place of eternal comfort, to that place of peace, to that place where we reside, where there is nothing to do but rest in the knowledge that there's one Spirit, one God, one life, one consciousness. and that we are part of that God. We are made by God. And we're every bit as perfect as those first protons, neutrons, and electrons that were created at the dawn of time, that were brought forth with a word. That initial blessing, that initial act from God is every bit as powerful now as it was then. The blessing of God from the beginning of time is the same blessing that we use to bring good into our lives. It's the same blessing that we use to manifest our world. It's the same blessing that we use to inform us. The love of that day is the love of today. The power of that day is the power of today. And it is at work now in our lives. And I know that I'm safe to choose to get out of my comfort zone. I'm safe to choose to get out of my own way. Because at my feet, at my back, above me, in front of me, within me, there resides a power that is power. An unlimited wellspring of abundant joy. That is what is in me. That is what I'm made of. And as I know this truth about myself, I know this for you as well. I know this about each and every voice listening. I know this about each and every person on the planet. I know this about each and every living thing across the universe. We are all born of God. And knowing this, there is nothing that we can't do. And there's nothing that I can't do. And so happily, I release these words. I release these words into the mind of the universe, knowing that they're true and done, knowing that they are immediately acted upon by a loving universe, a universe that loves me and that loves you. And let us all release these words with the words, and so it is.
This is the moment, this is the day when I send all my doubts and demons on their way. Every endeavor I have made ever is coming into play. It's here and now today. This is the moment, this is the time when the momentum and the moment are in rhyme. Give me this moment, this precious chance. I'll gather up my past and make some sense at last. This is the moment when all I've done, all of the dreaming, planning, and scheming becomes
Well, this is our offering time. And I tell you, I feel like I really received today that the inspiring talk about my comfort zone really hit home. And Heather's song, I Build It Anyway. Dream it and dream it anyway. And so with that, we're offering we are offering you an opportunity to give. You can give go to our website, click on the donate button, and we got multiple options there. As Ruth referred to earlier, we got PayPal, Square, credit card. You can also mail a check to the address on your screen. So I want to thank you and everyone else that is going to be watching us on YouTube for your donations. And now, as we stay muted, let us say our abundance affirmation. Abiding by the law of circulation and in heartfelt gratitude, I affirm that I live in a creative and abundant universe that continuously flows in, through, and out as me, expressing as the ever-expanding infinite good. And so it is. Please remember, for our prayer request, you can go to SAC CSL, put them on the website, and it goes out to the ministers of our center and the practitioners, and they will be on our altar for the entire week. And now our latest news, which is our announcements. Reverend Patricia is continuing with her busy hands and warm hearts on the second and fourth Monday of the month. Bring your own beverage and whatever it is that you would like to do. And continuing with Reverend Patricia, she has started her Science of Mind 104. It is a beautiful, supportive, creative group that is currently full. But if you really have this calling and think that you should be joining this incredible class because it's powerful, reach out to Reverend Patricia. And upholding our youth in crisis, our outreach group is supporting the Children's Receiving Home. This month, we are meeting on September 25th at Reverend Patricia's. It will be outside, and if the weather doesn't permit us outside, we will be using her annex room. So all the information for this is on our website. Bring your own drinks and bring your own snacks.
And as we begin to close out this service, we have a final gift for you, which is our affirmation of the week. And we give this to you as something to hold and something to speak about, to use. So say with me, I have a power within that is greater than anything I could ever encounter. Let's say that again. I have a power within that is greater than anything I could ever encounter. And isn't that what David's been talking about all morning? Is not only do we have that power within, but there's something we can do with it to become more of who we are. So let's have our benediction, and then there will be the closing song. And if you will, you can stay with us for fellowship after the closing song. The fellowship is not going to be recorded, but just come hang out with us for a while. And so, in closing, I know that that original blessing is always with me. It is always with you. It is there to provide us comfort as we move through and out of our accustomed comfort zone into brand new and glorious activities and thoughts and creativity. We carry that original blessing with us at all times. And for this, I give great thanks. And so it is. And now for our closing song. Everyone is welcome to sing along. Just keep your microphone off.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let